And hello one and all, back up here once again with another video. This is going to be a video response to Dalyxman's video. It's titled, "The WWE Universal Championship is a Bust. Bad Booking at its Finest." So the link to Dalyxman's video is down below in the comments section. Check it out if you haven't had a chance to watch it. But I did want to make a video response to this because I'm also in agreement with Dalyxman that I feel personally that the Universal Championship, the way that it has been booked coming out of, Finn Balor's injury. Obviously, Balor went down with the injury. Not his fault. Injuries happen, it is what it is. So, but coming off that and moving on to Kevin Owens winning the Universal Championship with, of course, the help of Triple H, which planted the seeds for Rollins versus Triple H, but I personally feel the company has not followed up on that very well at all. It's like they pretty much just planted that seed, got lazy, and said, well, we're not going to be doing this feud till WrestleMania, so we're really, not going to have any type of follow-up until probably January at the earliest. So I feel that was a huge slap in the face. You could have at least done something to continue, excuse me, still recovering from a cold, to plant the seeds to continue the build-up of the feud between Rollins and Triple H. But like I said, I feel they've dropped the ball with that. But looking at the Universal Championship itself and what Dalyxman said, right off the bat, he's right. The night that they unveiled that title, let's go back to the name. The name I wasn't too bent out of shape about. I was like, okay, when I first heard it, because I was at that Raw in Pittsburgh, the best Raw of the year, July 25th, the night they announced the Universal title. And I'm thinking, okay, not the name I would have went with, but I can deal with that. Excuse me. The name will grow on me, and it has. I think it's an okay name. Could they have done better? Yeah. Could they have done worse? Oh, yeah. So the name, that's fine. But the design and look of this title, just right off the bat, I'm sorry, I've said it multiple times, I'm going to say it again. For $1 million company, with all these resources and all the different avenues that they can explore, this is what they came up with. Pretty much the WWE title has a fruit roll-up. It's red, because Raw is red. Like Dalyxman said, it's lazy. And I agree with him there. It's just, there were all these different mock concepts and different ideas of, the title might look like this, or it could look like this, or this, or this. But no. Instead, we get this. And it hurt the Rollins-Balor match. I mean, it took away from the match because the crowd was placing its frustration on the belt, whether wrong or right. It distracted from the match. I mean, just when you look at it, it's just like, it's so lazy. I know this company could easily have done so much better. I even did better in WWE 2K17. I designed my own title that looks 10 times better than the Universal title. It's like they just said, fuck it, we're just gonna make it red. So that hurt the title, And it's just like, I mean, where's the innovation, the the word I'm trying to look for, the ingenuity, just the something different. Just, it's like rinse and repeat, It's just like before with the stage designs. I mean, it was all pretty much the same, except for WrestleMania. It was that same stage setup. Thank God we've gotten new stages, but, the design hurts the belt. But what also hurts the belt that Dalyxman brought up is the way that Kevin Owens himself has been booked as Universal Champion. The guy can never win a match hardly clean. Now, granted, he beat Sami Zayn clean on Raw, but that's one of the few times that you can remember Kevin Owens beating somebody clean. And he's also been losing lately. I mean, Roman Reigns beat him, so that makes him, look weak. And just the way, that Owens really hasn't been positioned as, in the main event. I mean, you look at this past week, Zayn and Owens was at the 9 o'clock hour. They didn't even close the show. Now, I'm happy that the women got the opportunity to close the show again. But to me, it just shows WWE's lack of emphasis on booking the Universal Champion as the one of the top titles on Raw. And, excuse me. So it's just like Kevin Owens, if booked correctly, could be a monster unstoppable heel like we saw on NXT. I don't see what's so hard about doing what you did on NXT, taking that and apply it to the main roster. Now, that may not always work in every single situation. I understand that. Sometimes what works on NXT will not transplant to the main roster, but just the way they've been booking Owens as the cowardly chicken shit heel, like Dalyxman said, I agree. It's annoying, it's cookie cutter, and it's lazy. These people have 30 writers on your creative team, and I'm sorry I have to call you out for that. I mean, I know, I'm just sitting here, talking smack, no pun intended, but you would think with 30 writers they could come up with something better than cookie cutter runaway chicken shit heel. We've seen this time after time after time again, and it just gets old, played out. Excuse me, and by the time that happens, you don't care. And really, I mean, going into Roadblock, which is a show that I'm going to, but I'm really not looking that much forward to, because the card has just been pretty much non-existent. The build has really been lackluster, like it has been for these Raw pay-per-views. But Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns, I really have no interest in the match at all. Roman Reigns, to me, hasn't been booked well as a United States Championship. Excuse me. He has not been booked well as a U.S. champion. In fact, I almost forget that Roman Reigns has the United States Championship. So they're putting him up against Kevin Owens. The match will be what it is. I'm sure it'll be a good match. I don't really care if Reigns wins the Universal title. It holds both titles. We've seen that before with Seth Rollins. And, yeah, I mean, it's sad because I thought once Kevin Owens won that title, we could be in store for some interesting television. Maybe they'd finally book him in a credible way as, a top vicious heel on Raw. But no, we did not get that. And, excuse me. Apologize for that. But you look at Roman Reigns, and a situation that I would have liked to have seen done. You couldn't have put him against Neville. I mean, Neville is doing nothing at the moment. He hasn't been seen on Raw in months. So a scenario that I would have rather have seen. You couldn't have done Roman Reigns versus Neville at Roadblock and then do Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho, which is the feud that I thought we were going to be getting. But apparently they're going to be holding off on that till the Royal Rumble. So that's okay. But I agree. Just the way Owens has been booked, it's just been disappointing. Disappointing to say the least. Now, the last point that Dalyxman made, and I think it's a good point, something that I really didn't consider, is the number of people gunning for this Universal Championship. There really has not been that many. If you think about it, Sami Zayn's made mention to it time in passing, but he hasn't really had his focus on it. He's been directionless. You think guys like Braun Strowman would be coming after it, or, Chris Jericho, or Rusev, or, excuse me, Sami Zayn, like I said. Hell, maybe even a Neville. They might not, win, but at least it would, create the suspense, the idea that there are multiple guys that realize that that is the top title and they want to be the preeminent holder of that title. It gives that title, it shows that, wow, everybody's coming after it. It must mean something. But to really only have Seth Rollins focus on it, now Roman Reigns, it's just like, that ain't enough. I'm sorry. And, when Balor went down with the injury, that obviously changed plans, but I thought they definitely could have done better, with the booking of the Universal Championship. And really, if you, rank it with titles on Raw, I think the women's title is the most important. The way it's been booked, I mean, yeah, it's been hot potato, but the way it's been positioned, main eventing the shows, main eventing pay-per-views, it is in a more preeminent position than the Universal Championship. So take that for what it is. But I wanted to get this video response out there. I apologize for the coughs. I've been under the weather recently. Finally starting to feel myself again. Had a damn cold. It wouldn't break, but it's finally breaking. So just wanted to get this video response out there for Dalyxman. And I hope you have a chance to watch this video. Always enjoy the content that you provide, so thank you for that. And that is it for my video response, guys, to Dalyxman's video. The link to it will be down below in the description box. And be sure to come back up here tonight for my live Raw review. That'll be at 11:10 p.m. We'll break down everything that goes on tonight's edition of Raw. It is the go-home show for the Roadblock pay-per-view, so we have that to watch. So that is it, guys, for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Till then, take care.